Hey there, guys. We've got day 2 bosses for Dark Visions number 15 on the global server. So we're gonna be going straight to the second boss of each area. I've already done the first boss. You can use the exact same team we're going to use on the second boss, on the first boss, and it works as well. It's just easier. But we're going to start with the magical fight. This is a magical aquatic boss, weak to ice and light element. And you can probably guess if it's a magical fight weak to light element, who are we going to use? We're going to use Aerith for the budget run. So this is the team we're going to be doing. We're going to be going for a turn 1 clear just to make it nice and easy. You obviously don't have to do a turn 1 clear. If you want to go to a turn 2 clear, the boss does physical, fire, and dark damage on your team. So just use an evasion physical cover tank, and you'll take no damage. You can set up as long as you'd like. But we're going to go for a quick turn 1 clear. We're going to use Summerfina and Lid as our breaker. We're using a holy weapon. They also do aquatic buff, which is going to be a little bit useful. Probably not needed. This is massive overkill, but we're going to use her just to buff aquatic damage as well. Sylvie is enhanced. She's going to do Holy Amplify, Holy Imperil, and some stat buffing, wearing her TMR. And here is Cetra Descendant Aerith. She is using a budget build. We're using Spirit and MP. No STMRs, but Spirit, MP, and a little bit of Magical Aquatic Killer. Make sure she's using her TMR or her STMR. So just Spirit, MP, Aquatic Killer. There we go. She's at 100 and she's at aquatic. There it is. 175 aquatic killer. Mastermind Zahn's going to be a support chainer using his TMR and a holy weapon. Elena, support chainer, her TMR. A holy weapon and then her STMR. And then Chu-Chu is the most important unit of the team. Make sure you bring Chu-Chu. I would tell you the reason, but it's going to be a surprise. So let's get in here and get a turn 1 clear. Okay, so we're going to use Summerfina and Lid. They're going to break the boss with Deep Sea Swimming. We're going to do Aqua Hunter for just an aquatic buff, and then just whatever, just hit the boss, who cares. Sylvie is going to triple cast. We're going to do All Eggs on Aerith. We're going to do Hop to the Rescue on Aerith, and we're going to do Glitter Egg to imperil the boss. Alright, Zahn is going to triple cast. We're going to do AR and then SR twice. That's going to give us the 100-point chain score when we cap it. Same thing with Elena. AR and then double SR. And we're going to use Aerith to cast the Awakened +2 Holy. We're not going to reflect it, so we don't need any Esper stuff. We don't need Carbuncle. We're just going to cast it directly onto the boss. So don't worry about reflecting it. Now, as far as Chu-Chu, Chu-Chu is going to sit here and watch what the team does and focus very hard. So we're going to go ahead and cast Aerith. We're going to wait for the Holy to start dropping from the sky. So wait. Go ahead and send our chainers. And then Holy is going to get capped. And there is Aerith dealing very large damage. And then Chu-Chu observed what the party did. And Chu-Chu is learning. He is slowly getting more powerful. For people that don't know, once Chu-Chu is fed a lot of stat drives, later in the game, Chu-Chu gets very, very powerful at the end game. But for now, he is still powering up and learning and observing. So that was very important. But anyway, there is Aerith. She almost did 10 billion all by herself. The damage cap on day 1 and 2 bosses is only 2.14 billion. So we overkilled by 5 times more than we needed to damage cap. So Aerith carried that very much. And there is a perfect score. Now, that strategy may not work if you don't have Chu-Chu. And if you don't have Chu-Chu, shame on you. But we're going to move along. So next up is going to be the physical fight, which is a physical, same thing. And the first boss will use the same strategy. But this is a physical fight, weak to fire or dark. It's an undead boss. We're going to go with a fire team. So let me go ahead and load this up. Area 4. And again, we're going to go for just a turn 1 clear. Very, very easy. If you're not going for a turn 1 clear and you need to tank the boss does magical, ice, and light damage and single target stop. So use an evasion provoker and a magical cover tank to ice and light, or gear your team for ice and light resistance. but we're going for a turn 1 clear, so, you know, we don't really need all that. So we're going to use, again, the Cetra Descendant Aerith. This time we're going to be in the shift form. So start her in the shift form or shift her on turn 1. She's going to be the holy, I'm sorry, not holy. She's going to be the fire, amplify, and imbue unit. So we're just going to use Ardent Prayer on turn 1 to imbue fire, amplify fire, and do a stat buff. And yes, that's it. Vaughn is going to be a breaker. He's going to break and imperil fire with his LB, so that's all he does. Sylvie, again, we're just going to use her to use her. This time she's only going to use her Magnus to fill the LB of our finisher and do an LB damage buff. Elena, again, it's just going to be a support chainer. And then King Bradley, in the shift form, is going to be a support chainer. Those two are going to chain AR and SR. And then Shadow Lord in the shift form is going to be our finisher. He is geared for Undead Killer and LB damage. Budget build, no STMRs, all cheap stuff, so a decent card. You know, dual wielding, and we've got a total of 250 Undead Killer, 290 LB damage. And here is the setup one more time. You can see all the stuff, and you know, very budget build. And okay, let's get it to go. Going for a quick and easy turn 1 clear. Okay, so we're going to start off with using Vaughn to just LB for the Imperil and the Break. We're going to use Aerith to cast Ardent Prayer for the Fire, Imbue, and Amplify. Sylvie will just cast all eggs in one basket on Shadow Lord to fill his LB, his shifted LB. Elena is going to AR and double SR. And then King Bradley is going to AR and double SR. And then Shadow Lord is just going to use his LB to cap that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just send all these, and then the chain will build. Shadow Lord will come in with the cap at some point. There it is. I think Shadow Lord did 10 billion right there. So yeah, you know, day 1 bosses, or day 1 and day 2 bosses are fairly straightforward. We did, you know, 10 billion. The damage cap is only 2.14 for today. Tomorrow, or Monday, for the final area, is when we start getting to the serious fights. So our chainers were naked, so they don't really count, but Shadow Lord, you know. You can bring any finisher you want, you know, Shadow Lord, Tifa, you know, Zidane, whatever you want to go. If you don't have those, you can bring, like, you know, Dragoons, Arden, Noctis, Edgar, whatever you desire. Okay, so the glitch has never been fixed. Shame on Gumi. But there we go. That gives us the 1 million points for the Red Pearl for the individual rewards. And in 2 more days, we will be going to the final area, which will be challenging. And as usual, on Monday, the video for the final area might be delayed, depending on if the bosses are buffed, and I take longer to figure out some teams. But I will see you Monday for the hard fights. Okay, see you then.